thanks for helping me out. I've been lost in this thing. I've been watching that NBA bullshit thing. But what can I say?
Yeah, it's not that easy. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay. So this is the one that we have to fill out. Okay?
Yeah.
And what I did was I went into that example that they gave us.
The one that Dr. Lynn gave us?
Yeah. Well, it's the one that came with the thing, with the assignment as well. Hers and that one are the exact same thing. There's really no difference. This is the one that Dr. Ling gave us.
Okay.
This one. So what I did was I came in here and I looked at all the formulas that are in this and basically used them to figure out what to put in this other spreadsheet. The other spreadsheet, you just have to fill in like the highlighted portions. And then there were some blanks too, so I just went ahead and filled those in because it aggravates me when stuff like that's not done. So
What those percentages were up here. I was a little lost as to how to even come up
with this.
Yeah.
So it's just a formula. All it is it's taking this. So this one was already filled in. All it's doing is taking this and putting it from a decimal to a percentage. That's it. So I just took this and copied it down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You just click and drag it, copy it down.
Got it.
Okay. And then this one, the weighted average cost of capital, or K, is a formula that basically takes the percent from stockholders, so this one, times the required rate of return by stockholders, plus the percent funds from bondholders times the after-tax required rate of return by bondholders, and adds those two together. So you see when I double-click on that formula.
Let me see, this times this. And then,
So it's this times this plus this times this. So you see my formula there? And the nice thing about this, Mark, is you don't really have to write this down because I'm recording the session, so you can actually just go back and see what I'm talking about.
All right.
So that's all that has to be done up there. Now, in looking at this, once that's calculated, this comes into play. It actually takes this and just puts it further out into a decimal, right? So there's really nothing, this is literally the same number, right? So the growth rate can be adjusted. We can adjust it to do our analysis, our sensitivity analysis. The inflation, we really shouldn't, they want us to keep that at 3%, which is in the instructions here. Okay, we can adjust this measure with percentage or additive change using sensitivity inputs in F13 and F14. So
Not sure what those are.
I think they meant to say F16 and 17, this one. So that note is incorrect because that formula pulls from these two. So we can adjust the weighted average cost of capital right here in these two. By changing these two, it'll actually adjust this. The long-term growth rate shouldn't really be adjusted. That's a flat rate that they want us to keep in there, right? All right. So then, and then this adjusts based on information. I don't know where it is. Where is that? Oh, those are hard-coded numbers. Net WC to sales. Okay. So I'm not sure what that is. I haven't figured that one out yet. But this is pulling from down here, C84. So that's this one. Actually, it should be C86. Why is that C84? Oh, okay. So it's right there. It's this one. The net present value. It doesn't seem like it. Is that hard-coded? No. Okay. So a lot of this is just going in and figuring out the formulas, honestly. My numbers here and here aren't populating yet because I have to figure this out yet, this line. So basically what I did was I looked at the example, and these formulas are literally the rate or the price per case times the number of cases, and you just literally copy the formula over. So like,
formula here with total U.S. domestic revenue, that formula there.
Yeah, yeah, and each one of them's like that. It's so all it is this times this. Okay, and that's each one of them is that times that, that times that, and that times that, and then you just copy the formula over, and it's done. Haven't quite figured out this part yet. So this is taking those three numbers and adding them up. I got that. This is taking the forecast of net working capital, which is basically this number times D20, which is this net WC working capital to sales, right? And then the marginal investment needed is that, and I'm not exactly sure where this number's, so that number's coming from same place. Okay. Where's this number coming from? That's hard-coded. Okay. So this is the line I haven't figured out, but this is the formula for it, right? So it's sales minus operating expenses minus corporate expenses, which I feel like I need a line in here to total these. And I feel like I need a line in here to total the export expenses and the domestic expenses to get that. And the tax rate, trying to figure out where that tax rate's listed, what they want us to use, if they just want us to use a normal tax rate or what. But what do they got here? Well, I guess we could. Nope. Of course not. So we have to figure out 1 minus the tax rate plus depreciation minus marginal capital expenditures, which would be this, minus marginal investment in net working capital, marginal net depreciation equals expenditures, so the formula drops those metrics.
Appreciation is marginal capital expenditure. Not sure if that explains what we spend on capital expenditures equals depreciation.
Yeah. See, the thing of it is that it doesn't have anything in here for, unless I'm missing it, for depreciation. This is what I've been struggling with. I've got this part of it. I know what I have to do, this first part, but this bottom part is where I'm struggling. Plus the depreciation minus marginal capital expenditures minus marginal net investment in working capital. So I'm guessing this net working capital and this net working capital investment needed are those two numbers. I don't see any, so it would be these two. I don't see any depreciation. You tell me if I'm wrong, but I sure don't see any depreciation.
Revenue, expenses.
So let's see if I can build this out. Equal sign. Sales minus this minus this minus this times minus tax rate. What do you think? 0.25? Salvage value, tax on salvage value, or 0.4? Isn't the corporate tax rate 0.4?
So it looks like is that in millions? That's in thousands, though. 175,000. Can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's 0.4. Plus there is no depreciation. I do not see depreciation. Okay.
I didn't see it either.
So we're going to do this minus this. Depreciation equals marginal capital expenditures, so formula drops the metrics. Okay.
What did it say? Quicker.
So it says here, note, depreciation equals marginal capital expenditures, so formula drops the metrics.
I don't know what that means.
So the depreciation is actually this, where's that margin? Marginal capital expenditures, I think it's this, minus,
Working capital.
yeah, forecast. So let's see what this does. Okay. Woo! No, I didn't want to do that. I just want to little bigger.
I still miss having a full blood this piece of the book thing. Drives me crazy.
Do what?
This piece of the book thing, you got 3 different pieces of books.
Oh yeah, I hate that, by the way.
It's kind of mess.
Yeah.
They, 75 to 100 is 34%, and 50 to 75 is 25%.
Which,
But that is, but they're just saying that for that this book.
so let's just do 25. Yeah, that'll be a little more accurate. There we go. Okay, so terminal cash flow. This is not very good. Internal rate of return. Why is this not working? Hang on. That was the formula. It was over here in this. F9. Yes. J59. F9 through J59, which is what I have. Comma. Guess. Yeah, I don't know if this is right. F82.
You know, in our books, it just says trial and error for the rate of return, but I
Yeah.
put in.
It's a formula, though. The internal rate of return is a formula. You know what? I bet it's because this is not. Nope, that didn't help.
That's the formula they had in there.
Yeah, that's the formula they've got in there. Yep. That didn't work either. I don't know why that's coming up number. Alright, so at any rate, this is how I figured out. Unless it's coming up number because of these inputs are not filled in. So let's.
You don't have to worry about stuff up. That was understanding.
Huh?
That was understanding.
Well, that's good. Wait a minute. C61. Where's C61? See, I don't understand where. Oh, this is C84. So it's that one. This spreadsheet's a mess, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
Escape. Do that. That didn't work either. I don't know, I'll have to figure that one out because it's not calculating right, obviously. But, so then this sensitivity, comes into play here. We have to fill these in. The adjustment.
What are we trying to do with this sensitivity? That's what I wouldn't quite understand.
So to perform the sensitivity analysis on unit sales, here's what it says. Enter negative 0.2, negative 0.1, 0, 0.1, 0.2 in cell D9. To perform sensitivity analysis on weighted average cost of capital, and you have to enter it in F13. So each one of those you'll enter in D9 and F13. Hopefully that's the right cell.
I mean, do I put equal or what do you do? I can look at that item.
So in D9.
Oh, over here D9. So when they're saying D9, they're saying come back to this?
I guess not. So D9. I think that's supposed to be B9. Because that's what this was done. That's what was done here, right? So I think that's supposed to be B9. And to perform the weighted average cost of capital, you do F13? What the heck? That makes no sense. Because F13 is right there. So I think the weighted average cost of capital is supposed to be done there.
Where you at?
Oh, sorry. Oops. I'm on the other. Sorry, I got two screens. I'm sitting here going, oh, I think it, and you have no idea what where I'm talking about. Okay, so on this, it says that these are to be entered in cell D9. That has to be here. Okay. The sensitivity analysis on weighted average cost of capital, F13. F13 has to be right here. Right? Bless you. So I really feel like that's got to be, what we're supposed to do. Because then once we put these values in here, we have to go in and figure out what our net present value is for each one of those, which should be this. Right? And here's the present value calculations, by the way. But I think we get once we put in these different sensitivities in here, it'll give us this net present value. And that's when we enter it over here in the table. And that's what builds this line.
And then where are we supposed to be in the assignment? We're supposed to do a compare and contrast of the model.
Yeah. So Yeah, so the sensitivity analysis types, you can, that's a term. So the different types are things like crap. Is it? I found research on it.
You have to do some research myself.
Yeah.
Just changes it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know how to get to my work out of this stressful stuff.
Well, once you go through and like actually analyze what's going on, so summarize how the model results adjust to changes in key input variables, you could write half the paper on that based on what they're having us do. And then the market conditions that support or oppose the acquisition. So that's more like what we did in the discussion board of, you know, does it make sense to acquire during certain market conditions and things like that. And then in conclusion, detail how the data gathered affect the decision to acquire BG Enterprises. So I think that's just an analysis of whether or not to acquire them. Yeah.
You're right, this is a doozy.
I told you, I looked at it, I was like, oh my, this is not going to be good. But, yeah, the sensitive, I hate Wikipedia, but.
Sometimes it gives you some good stuff.
Yeah. So, core methodology, like regression analysis, variance-based models, which the variance-based models, and there's another one. There's another thing that says stuff about best and worst case scenarios. That's another type. Maybe it was this one I looked at that I thought had a decent explanation. Yeah, here's partial sensitivity analysis, best and worst case, break even, and the Monte Carlo. These are the ones that we've really, I mean, we've talked about Monte Carlo and stuff in this class. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. It could be very wrong. I don't know if we should, try to ask her some questions and see.
I was going to work on the spreadsheet a little bit, so I kind of, when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my God, I don't got a clue what I'm doing.
Right.
At least I can move forward a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I just started going in and comparing the two spreadsheets to each other and looking at the formulas and stuff and trying to say, okay, when I do this formula right here, what is it composed of and stuff like that. Because they've got all kinds of stuff in here that you don't need. The beta, the risk-free rate, the expected rate of return. You might need it for some of these other calculations, but you don't really need it for
the one that they gave us in the assignment?
This is the one from the assignment.
Okay, but the one that she gave us, didn't seem like it was that much different.
No. It's, this is the one that she gave us.
Pretty much the same deal?
Yeah. Actually, let's just make sure. Where's that at? That was in resources, wasn't it? Or no, announcements.
Announcements, yeah.
Yeah, 6 announcements.
Now they're I started looking at them, I didn't get much better. I was like, maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah. I think this is the same thing. Yeah, this is literally the same. She basically gave us, like, the first part, a couple of formulas and stuff like that. Gave us here's the free cash flow formula. Well, I was close. Okay, so that's good.
So yours is a little bit further along than.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good. I can at least, let's see if I can do this. If I can just copy up rather than, wait, that's not the right one. Yes. I wanted the formula. Alright. Make it hard. I'll put it on 2 screens and I'll copy it.
Yeah, I wish I had 2 screens. I have 2 screens at work, but I can't do this stuff at work. It's blocked.
Yeah. Equal sign. G64. I feel like I'm playing bingo. G64. Minus G62. What? Oh, they did add. Okay.
What do you see?
She added, so before I do this, she added, some rows. So this is, and I think, yep, okay. So equals,
What was the difference between the two? I didn't quite.
huh?
You gave us 2 things. What was the other thing? I looked at that and I didn't.
I have no idea. I don't know what the difference is. I haven't looked at the other one. I thought it was just another, this is what you're supposed to use. You know?
Yeah, it was.
Alright, now let's see. I think that gets it. So that's what G62 is now. Okay. Back to the original formula. Come on. That's all okay. Trying to check all of these formulas and make sure that I have everything in here that she does. Alright, so.
Have you talked to her yet? She's pretty nice when you talk.
No, I hadn't talked to her.
I'm gonna call her this Friday. I'll call her and say, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Yeah. Alright, what's up with my computer? Why is it doing this? I'm clicking around and nothing's moving. This is never good. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright, so got that. So here it is. Parentheses, G64 minus G62 minus G55 minus G81 times minus, parentheses, absolute of D 17. And what is D17, may I ask? Tax rate. There's the tax rate. Found it! So
once you start things, it populated.
right. So there's the formula for that. That makes much more sense. And the internal rate of return finally worked. Yay!
Wow.
So there's the spreadsheet. That was the key to the whole thing. Alright, so, and now my computer's freezing up again. There we go. Alright. So then I think it's plug and play. Once you get those formulas in, it's basically just plugging stuff in and seeing what comes out. So, no problem. I'm glad that...
And how do I do that?
Huh?
How do I watch it when you record this?
How do you watch it? Yeah. I'll stop recording it when we hang up, and I have to convert it. And once I do, I'll either put it out on my YouTube channel for my accounting group, or I'll put it and send you the link, or I'll just send you the video. The video might be too big, so I may have to put it out on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So I'll just send it to you, and that way you can watch it back.
Because I'll probably forget 5 minutes.
That's fine. I'm so used to doing these things because I majored in finance. It's like, okay, where's the formula?
83, it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's play the formula game. So, all right. So that's it. Well, I'm glad I got part of my spreadsheet done. I don't know if she wants us to do this other sensitivity analysis that's in...
It says perform 2 types of sensitivity analysis. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this one. If she wants us to do this present value calculation in this, I'm not sure. I mean, it tells you again where everything's coming from, so it should be pretty easy to take this and plug it, you know. You should be able to pull from what's over here to what's in here, and then, you know, figure out the net present value. So that's part of, so this is the sum of the present value of each cash flow, and this is the present value of cash flows using Excel net present value.
Formulas are in there. It's like it's pulling from the other of the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. I know the biggest part of it's just going to be doing the research. So, alrighty.
I appreciate your time. I was lost.
Well, hopefully it's better now. No problem. Talk to you later. Alright.
Have a great
You too. Bye.
Bye.